COVID wakes up at 11:01.
Yeah.
And
Who's there? Welcome everyone to this episode of Tank Talks. My name is Keith Millender.
My name is Brandon Lolo.
That is my name. Keith, how have you been doing?
I've been well. I've not seen enough of you, that's the truth.
Yeah, we were joking about how we've been talking for going on 30 minutes right now, and then we're just starting to record. So that's all the bonus content that if you donate at least 5,000 on our Patreon, you can see me and Keith just chit chat and giggle about stuff.
Which is really what we want in the end, is just to be able to sit down and giggle in front of a camera and make a living. That's the American dream.
Well, today we're chit chatting about the post-pandemic life, Keith. It's been in South Carolina, we were closed for about a month, and then our governor was like, "Baby, we're back." Other places, though, it's still, I think, like North Carolina just kind of super reopened back in May. And I know in other places, it's still, things are shut down. You can't do anything. But I think that, it got me thinking, what are things that happened post-pandemic or pre-pandemic that we're excited to see return, but also things that we're upset and we want to stop from bringing back? Because I think this is an opportunity for us to kind of reset. We kind of got like the slate is not completely clean. It's still a little greasy, but like we have an opportunity now to start pushing back on some of that stuff we hated. And if you're new here and you think you're showing up and we're going to show you something deep, that's not where it's going to be silly stuff.
More than likely, yes.
It's like we're really building up to like what was wrong with humanity and society pre-pandemic. And people are expecting like, how are you going to tackle this issue and that? And it's like, no, here's how I want to get a hot dog faster.
No, we're here for the goofs. We had a recent YouTube comment. We haven't been posting a lot in Town Take Media Network, and we're but we had a recent YouTube comment that I found yesterday, I think, which a guy was like, it was on one of our political videos where it's you telling people what to ask politicians before you vote for them, and their comment was like, why don't you just ask them something they said, and then in the end they were like, I'm so disappointed in you both. And I was like, I just responded, I was like, we make jokes. this whole video, I wanted to say like, he's wearing all camouflage, he looks like a fool. This is a joke. And then I said that this is, we make jokes, and the guy was like, oh, I apologize, I did not pick up on the sarcasm. Keep it up or something. And it was like,
isn't it like, it's funny though that like that's something we should change about society, is that you just go to YouTube and like that guy doesn't know any of my credentials. It's just, this guy's in camouflage, he looks like he's sharing my opinions. But then once you dive into it, you're like, wait a minute, this guy's an idiot.
He's making fun of me a little bit. This hurts.
Here at Tate Media, we make fun of everyone though.
We do.
So it's Keith,
yeah.
I'm gonna throw my first thing out there of stuff I want to return.
Okay.
Buffets. I want a good buffet back. I'm gonna tell you a story about, I went to our local Food Lion, Keith. Walked in, it's a brand new building. Usually I felt those grocery stores are pretty good. So I walked in, I was grabbing some stuff, and all of a sudden I see like this light from heaven shining down on a little hot bar. I walk up, you got some teriyaki wings, some general, some barbecue, and you got some potato kegs, Keith. Potato kegs are like a jumbo marshmallow that you've just stuffed with hash browns, bacon, and cheese. And it's just out, and I get to serve myself. So I put a little glove on, I get my little tongs, put a couple of potato barrels in there, get a couple of wings in there, and I felt like a king, Keith, because I was serving myself. I just walked to a grocery store. I'm like, here out in the open, like in the open air, in the open seas, some hot food that I can put in my little box. They're gonna weigh it, and then I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, makes me yearn for Golden Corral returning there.
will never yearn for Golden Corral, but I do enjoy the buffet. You can really tell that nature is healing when the potato barrels return to the wild. The fact I also love that the Food Lion R&D department was not on break. That they were out there, they were investigating, they were trying to figure out how do we repackage potatoes, meat, and cheese. They said we're going to make a potato barrel. All this cutting is wasting time. We're just going to scoop out the innards of potato and jam stuff in there. Well, let me tell you what this is more of a emotional, I guess, not hard thing that you can point at, but what I'm ready for the stigma of doing things to come back, or the non-stigma. Yeah. I'm ready for that to leave. I'm ready for us to return.
I'm ready for people to be locked back in their house.
I'm ready for people to for everybody to just stop feeling like they're doing something wrong. Yeah. Because for the last year and a half, no matter what you do, whether you're staying inside, there's belligerent right wingers who are telling you the only way to be free is to get out and do stuff and put people in danger. And then
grab your neighbor, cough in their eye.
And the other side of it is like, you can't do anything. You stay inside. COVID has passed through eye contact. We'll see you in 10 years, Like, I'm just ready for all that stigma to be gone. I want to go out and go to a store and not have to worry about, do they want me to wear my mask, or do I need to wear it, or do I don't wear it? I feel safer when I wear it, but also no one in here is wearing it, so they think I'm an idiot. Like, I'm so tired of, I already overthink everything. I'm already always in my head, and I'm very tired of looking at every other person I see in the world and thinking like, am I doing something that makes that person hate me or not right now? And agonizing over it. I'd like for people to feel normal.
I feel like pre-pandemic, like if you did something like if you did a live stream and you're like, here's my gun, you start talking to your gun. Then that's when you would get messages and people being like, thank goodness you're standing up for America. Then you have people attacking you. But yeah, now it's gotten to a point to where if we just get together, we take a selfie of us playing checkers, then you have people messaging us being like, I'm so glad you're standing up for America and you're saving America. And it's like, I'm not doing that. And then it's like people saying, oh, I guess you just don't care about Keith or your family. And it's like, I do. I don't want to kill Keith. Like, the bar has been lowered so much on what is considered like standing up for something or not, or like, I guess making a statement, because that's on either side. Like, the bar is lowered. One thing I guess we can say on the positive, one thing that's it's already returning a lot is sporting events. Ever since the pandemic, in the last couple of months, I've been able to go to a couple of NASCAR races. Luckily, work's was a little light, so it opened up. Was able to go to a baseball game as well, and it was so nice getting to be in that community again and seeing people enjoying themselves and feeling like, all right, this is how it was pre everything. There's people out here, and like you said, not worried about like, oh, I gotta stay away from the person.
I don't see a lot of inhibition happening when the NASCAR races have returned.
I think the day that they announced that COVID was a thing, most race fans were like, it's worth dying to cheer Chase on.
Can COVID outrun the 225 mile an hour top speed of a Chevy Impala racing around that oval? I don't think so.
Tune in.
They probably don't even drive Impalas anymore, do they?
They don't. I wasn't going to call you out on it. If this is my NASCAR channel, right, I have to be like, oh, sorry, Keith. But in this one, it's just, if you just say race car, people are like, yeah, they do drive vehicles.
I called myself out. I have to do it. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna go negative. Big surprise. I'm gonna go negative here. Things that I never want to return. I don't care if it's the year 2100. Public pools. Mm-hmm. Fill them in.
Oh, man, yeah.
Public pools have to go. There's not. So before the pandemic, I didn't really think a whole lot about them. But Brandon, is your face frozen? Mm-hmm. Like your face might be frozen for me.
No.
Oh no, it's not. Okay. Sorry.
Can you see me?
You were locked in for a second. Anyway,
Okay.
before the pandemic, when I was looking at public pools, I didn't really have a lot of concern. Did not want to go inside one ever.
Mm-hmm.
But now, post-ish pandemic, those things need to all be filled in. That is hot, stinky people soup, and it's disgusting. It's not worth it. Some people may say, oh, there are the people out there that aren't as privileged as you with bodies of water nearby, and they have to have a public pool. Dig a hole in your yard, or everybody dig an individual hole, because swimming around with all like people's oils and greases,
people
swirling
don't
around,
shower before getting in there.
They're
Like people,
dirty.
they go work at the log yard, and then they show up.
It's disgusting. Dirty people. I'm dirty. I've got oils and juices. I know you don't want those. You know, it's gross, and I know it's like, ooh, the chemicals kill it all. But if somebody threw a dead animal into a pool with you, and you're like, oh, the chemicals killed all the bacteria, I still don't want to swim around with a dead raccoon. You know?
If you saw a half-eaten hot dog in a pool, you jump out of it.
Yeah. But the chemicals. That's a half-eaten hot dog. Inside of a dead rat. You know? Gross.
Yeah.
Get out of here, pools.
Keith, if I can build on your negativity,
please build on it.
I think too, what sucks is a pool. It'll be built for 100 people. You have 150 people in the pool. Going back to the sporting events, Keith, I went back to my first sporting event last year. It's a NASCAR race. They had, I think it was like maybe 10% capacity. So when I pulled up, Keith, I pulled up right in front of the racetrack.
Ooh.
Parked my car, went and got some food. There was like one person in front of me in line. When I sat down, there was no one within like probably 15, 20 feet of me. So not only could I stretch, Keith, I could set up camp in the stands. This time I go to Darlington, which is kind of, it's Darlington. There's people like on top of me. There's people, I could feel them breathing. There's people, like, I can't even, I feel like I can't really move or anything. It's just so stuffed. And I don't like that. I miss, like, I understand you need, 100,000 people to support your stadium, 5,000 people you're going to shut down. But selfishly, I miss this idea that as humans, we see the occupancy and we see it as a dare or a challenge. Yeah. Like, oh, you think 200 people can be in this buffet? Well, guess what? I'm bringing my entire family.
Yeah. I feel like, I think my secret hope was that people would forget they liked the things that I like over the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, I would enjoy going to like an NFL game. And I just kind of would hope that, oh, everybody else forgot about football. Or for you, like, I still love NASCAR, but I'm kind of hoping that everybody else forgot about NASCAR so that they don't come crowd the place. But that's not the case. Everybody remembered everything they wanted, and now we're going to double down on it, and we're going to push all the limits. There are going to be people falling off the tops of these big mega stadiums because people are pouring out of it. Oh, man. Yeah, so big crowds was on my list, too. I don't like a big crowd. I've become even more... My latent hermitness was brought out by the pandemic. I don't want to be out late anymore. That's another thing I don't want to come back. Like, when we moved up here, all of Lizzie's friends are lawyers, so there's a lot of, like, let's all go have a drink and chat at a bar or something until the wee hours of the morning. And then the pandemic happened, and it was like nothing. You can't do anything. And I was like, we don't have to go anywhere? Yes, awesome. And then they open things back up, like you can only be out till 11 because COVID wakes up at 11:01.
Yeah.
And
who's there?
And so then it was like we'd be out somewhere, and I'm like, Lizzie, I really want to go home. I am so done with this. And she'd be like, oh well, this place closes at 11, so we can't be here past then anyway. And it's like, yes. And then now things are opening back up later than that, and I just know eventually I'm going to be out until the wee hours of the morning again, and I don't want to do that. I'm a hermit man. I want to go home.
Maybe too, like one thing you don't want to return is like the bad habits of the past.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, because I just think of like stuff like that where it's not, I don't know, like I think I love the idea of going to like a Waffle House at 3 a.m, but is it healthy or safe? Probably not.
Right.
And maybe that's something you build on, because even lines, like I think when the pandemic hit, so many people learned how to use DoorDash and all.
Mm.
But now, like when I go to like races and all, there's so many people that are like, oh, we want to use our cash, or we want to use, and I'm like, it's so much easier. And like, I get that not a lot of people might not, I don't know, have a credit card or whatever, but like having an app on your phone, I've never known of anyone who wasn't pre-approved for
Right.
like, whatever. And I'm like, it's so easy to like, we were at down Disney. We would sit there and say, hey, I want this Mickey pretzel. And I would say, hey, I would be in 30 minutes and I'm going to pick it up. We'd show up in 30 minutes. They'd say, here, Mr. Brandon, here's all of your sodium.
Mm.
And I'd say, thank you. And I would take it. And maybe that's something I don't want to see return, is everyone be like, oh, we now have all these tools that we can use that have made life better, but now we're going to toss them all aside and just go back to like the old way.
I'll say this though, DoorDash be expensive. DoorDash be pretty pricey. Now you know of all people, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
To not leave the house, I'll pay whatever I need to pay. But I don't want to be paying that much money. But I agree. I think a way to summarize that is the focus on efficiency and being able to get things done in negative and tense situations. I think hopefully that will continue.
Once again, though, I think that just falls into selfishly. Like I want to go walk into like a Chick-fil-A and only be me. I want to go into a Waffle House, it's only me. So selfishly, it's just like I want everyone else to start using DoorDash. Don't leave your house, so that I can go to my NASCAR races. So I think really maybe it's like post-pandemic, it's just selfishly you want everyone else to stay inside, except for like you want to select like, okay, Keith, I want you to come out because I would love to run into you at Publix.
Of course.
But like selfishly, you want the other like 20 million people to stay in their houses.
Yeah, that's the thing. So with the pandemic being almost over, or whatever we want to call it, we just want 90% of the population to not know. The rest of us we know that it's over. I want everybody else to think it's still going on.
Because even a buffet, like I know that like I love my Food Lion buffet, but I remember last time I was there, I walked up to it and there was a guy standing there. And I immediately thought, you're going to mess this up. You're probably going to sneeze on the food. You can't be trusted. I can't trust you with this food. And I'm just like, that's the problem. That's where all this stuff goes into, is that like you said, I need like everything to reopen, but I need like the local news and Facebook and all. Just don't tell anyone. Just
don't report it.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. People can figure out like, you do know you can go to the grocery store. You do know you can go see your family. We'll tell them that you can see all the family you want. Just anywhere that you have to spend money.
Just buy us a couple of weeks of return to normal bliss, and then it'll all go horribly again. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see how things continue. Hopefully things don't get worse. I know, unfortunately, here at the end of the pandemic, my dad and my sister, all three of my sisters, over there have contracted the COVID. They're isolating and they're doing okay. They're getting better. Good reports. They're a little bit worried for a minute there, but so here at the end, they're catching it on the back end. But hopefully it all works out, and hopefully we'll be able to be prepared for the next time something catastrophic happens.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Keith, I think that we've once again we've came together and we have solved the world's problems,
mm-hmm.
and I think we can pat ourselves on the back. We can applaud.
Thanks to everybody for watching this video. I know that with content on Tank Media Network has been sparse. Honestly, the pandemic has really caused us to drop back and figure out exactly what and how we want to do in the future. Mm-hmm. I know we both have burgeoning, more successful personal ventures now. You with NASCAR Every Day and Armchair mm-hmm. Race Fan, and myself with Tank Media Games. Check out either of those things as well. But I guess for now, before our Zoom meeting runs out, we should tell you goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. We love you very much.